Hi, I'm Lori Hayes. Welcome to my channel, and make sure you hit the subscribe button and hit the like button. Um, this is the island I write about in my books. These are the wild horses. There are approximately 110 to 120 of them on the island. The island is very rugged, very windy, so sorry about any shaking. It's really hard to hold your phone with it zoomed in with the wind. There were tons of mosquitoes swarming us. At one time, we had about 50 of them on us, even with insect repellent. It's about 78 degrees, and I have shorts on and t-shirt. As you see over here is the Atlantic Ocean, and those are the sand dunes. It's very rugged, like a desert. And then the golden reeds of right there that's the marsh pine, and then peeking through the maritime forest, that's the sound right there. So the marsh pine, where the golden reeds are, I call it the marsh pine in my book. It's really not called that, but it is fiction after all. It's absolutely gorgeous out on this island. It's November into October actually when I filmed this, and as I said, it's hot like a desert. I'm sweating in shorts and t-shirt. We had to climb a 30-foot sand dune. You can't really appreciate the height of the sand dune from this video. It just doesn't do it justice, but it was quite a hike to get up here through these spindly little pieces of grass that sting your legs as you walk through them. And the sand is quite deep. I mean, it's probably about 6 inches deep, but still climbing up a sand dune with the sand that deep in the heat, it's tiring. Anyway, these are the horses. I'm not familiar with these horses. I'm not actually sure which one the stallion is. I think it's the one on the left, but I'm not sure. I want to get up closer so that you can see them better. If it starts shaking a lot, I'm going to start walking toward them more. But one thing to remember is with these horses, you have to stay 50 feet away, and I'm zoomed in. It looks like I'm right on them. But when I zoom out, you can actually see how far I am away from them. Anyway, I'm probably a good 200 feet away. Alright, so I'm going to start walking over there. You kind of get an idea for the landscape here with the spindly little grass, the little cacti here and there. That's kind of neat. This is the only island I know of that is completely desolate. Nobody lives on this island. The history behind it's kind of interesting. It goes back to it used to be a whaling community, and they weren't able to survive on this island because of the hurricanes, which eventually drove them away. By the way, that's Beverly there. Oops, I lost you. Oh, this is my shirt. You gotta check it out. It's a Life is Good horse shirt. So anyway, that's Beverly over there taking her photos. This is a wonderful trip for her. Love it that we can do that with her. Anyway, the horses came to this island. The thought behind it is that the Spanish galleons were sailing and hit some shoals and sank. This is known as the Atlantic is right here is known as the graveyard of the Atlantic, and it's thought to be that the horses, when this ship sank, that the horses swam ashore and therefore swam to this island, and they are still here after all these years. They're really amazing. Sorry for the shaking. It's so bright out there. It's really difficult to get you to see actually what I'm looking at sometimes. Oops. Let me get a little bit closer here. Hang on with me. It'll be worth it because you'll get a closer view of the horses. Oh, shorts, shirt. shoes, hat. Whew, if you're not dizzy yet, hang in there with me. We're almost there. It's worth it. Trust me. Check out this grass. Isn't that cool? I think that's called Spartina grass. And the horses, I don't believe the horses actually eat that. I think that there's actually grass that grows, as you can see right here. In these little valleys, this grass grows, and they have it numbed down. And sometimes there are little water pools that they can drink from here, or they'll dig for water, or they can go over to that marsh pond. It's really interesting, as in my book. If you read my books, they're actually light romances with a light little mystery. One of them is interesting because it kind of teaches you about the herd dynamics and how they dig for water and how there's a hierarchy of the stallion on the islands, and they take turns with the water depending on the hierarchy of the horses. It's really, to me, fascinating. So if you actually read my book, you'll get to learn more about the details of that in a kind of fun way. It is a novel. It's not a true story. There's Bev again. And these sand dunes here. It's just amazing. And you just can't really fully appreciate how tall these actually are. You see that wind blowing on that grass? That's why my camera's shaking. It's absolutely breathtaking though. And there's Jeanette. Jeanette and I have been friends since high school. Alright, so I think that's the stallion on the left. If you can tell, the horse on the right, she's kind of hiding in the bushes there. There is not a lot of shade on this island, as you can tell, that just tiny little strip. And you wouldn't actually want to stand there because it's usually full of horse dung, because they stand there just to stay cool or maybe to keep away from the mosquitoes. Sometimes they even, I've actually seen a whole entire harem, except for the stallion. They were all in these big bushes, and I walked right by them and didn't even know they were there. And the stallion comes out of nowhere and starts following us. We got out of his way as soon as we could, and then he pulled all of his mares out of these bushes. It was amazing. I'm not sure why they were hiding in the bushes, but it was interesting and a little bit frightening for us. But everybody was fine. Thank goodness. Look at how bright blue that sky is. I call that a Carolina blue sky. Just to give you an idea of the landscape again, and actually how far away I am from him. And it's into October, so the trees are slightly changing in color, as you can see. And if you stay with me, I have several videos of the different groups of horses that we found on this one excursion, and I have some from the other day as well. And I'm going to put all this raw footage up there just because I realize how lucky we are to actually have this so nearby. And it's really a blessing that we get to come to this island. Oh, he's looking at Jeanette over there because she's nice and far away from him, but he's alert and knows that she's over there and acknowledged her. He was curious, but he's not worried about it. He went back to grazing. His tail's not flicking, so he's just ignoring her. And as I said, the mosquitoes here are horrible. It's not usually like that. Every time I've come, I've never experienced being swarmed by mosquitoes before, but we had some rain, a lot of rain, and then I guess the mosquito eggs all hatched, and so here they are attacking us. Looks like we're heading on. I know that there's another horse over in another valley that I will probably get to it, put that in a different video for you.